So I know I've been talking a lot about the one big beautiful bill that Congress has been working on. I know I've been going on and on and on about it every time we get an update about the tax cuts or the spending cuts or the spending increases for defense while cutting things like Medicare and Medicaid. But hey, that's not the point of this video. There's something else that they sneaked in that in at least like the framework for this big beautiful bill, and it's basically to block states from regulating AI. Republicans want to block states from regulating AI for 10 years. And it's funny because Republicans always go on and on about states' rights and government overreach. And that seems to only be for like things that help people, like how dare you expand Medicaid? That's government overreach. Shit like that. But yet these are the fucking goons that want to now block states from regulating AI. They want to block states from determining who can and can't play in their sports. They want to be in your doctor's office. There's even legislation for freaking banning porn in all states. And my favorite is that Republicans are trying over and over to pass legislation that would prevent even blue states from providing free school meals, lunch, and breakfast to students. They want to prevent other states from doing that. So it's just fun to always point out the hypocrisy in the way that the Republicans like to govern. Anyways, I digress. Article from Business Insider: Republicans want to block states from regulating AI for 10 years. Let's read. Republicans included a major victory for AI companies in Trump's sweeping Big Beautiful Bill. One provision would prohibit states from regulating artificial intelligence for a decade. OpenAI and other companies have opposed state-level regulations. Of course they have. Like, I'm sorry, but like having some basic regulations for AI is a good thing. Let me tell you why. Also, we did have some sort of AI regulation framework, but Trump rescinded that executive order from Joe Biden. But like some reasons why you wouldn't want to have regulations on AI. For one, maybe regulate from having AI be able to take your jobs because you're going to put a lot of Americans out of work. Regulations for imitating people online, regulations for spreading misinformation or botting, regulations for making like editing a photo or video in a manner to indict someone of a crime, just stuff like that. Okay, I think that's all very reasonable, but this administration has taken a stance, and Republicans have taken a stance of pretty much just like all hands off. Just let it rip. Anyways, major tech companies could receive an unexpected victory in President Donald Trump's signature Big Beautiful Bill, but they shouldn't start celebrating just yet. House Republicans squeezed a provision into part of the sweeping tax, immigration, and defense legislation, which would prohibit states from regulating artificial intelligence for a decade. Except as provided in paragraph 2, no state or political subdivision thereof may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems for the 10-year period beginning on the day of the enactment of this act. The bill reads, the text first noted by 404 Media would be a godsend to major tech companies that have pushed the White House to oppose state-level AI regulations. Meta previously told the White House that such regulations could impede innovation and investment. OpenAI, Meta, and Alphabet have all opposed state-led efforts to regulate the rapidly growing industry. Last year, California Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed what would have been one of the nation's furthest-reaching AI laws after it overwhelmingly passed the state legislature. OpenAI was among the leading tech companies to oppose the bill. Congress has considered federal AI policies, but those efforts have yet to go anywhere. Big tech CEOs have made substantial efforts to curry the favor with the White House. Trump has welcomed their overtures and named venture capitalist David Sachs as artificial intelligence and crypto czar. And he's also very close with Sam Altman, who is the founder of OpenAI, and obviously Elon Musk with his efforts with Gronk or whatever the fuck it is. So yeah, this is, bought and paid. This provision is bought and paid for by big tech completely. There's no unanimity here about the provision among congressional Republicans. Even among those who are big tech critics, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri told BI that he opposed the proposed moratorium, saying he didn't want to tamp down on people's efforts to address issues posed by AI. I would think that just as a matter of federalism, we'd want states to be able to try out different regimes that they... Is that regimes or regimens? I fucking hate English sometimes, man. And they think will work for their state, Hawley said. And I think in general on AI, I do think we need some sensible oversight that will protect people's liberties. Josh Hawley is so weird to me, man. Sometimes he just says the most absolutely base things. And I mean like sometimes, like 2% of the time. And then the other 98%, it's just absolute nonsense and like just far right thinking. But sometimes, man, he can really nail it on the head. So credit there. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, meanwhile, told BI he was very supportive of the principle, saying that AI should be regulated via national standards. I respect that, but the problem is we're not regulating it at a national level. In fact, the regulations we did have were rescinded. He also said he wanted to take an approach to AI similar to the one President Bill Clinton took on the internet in the 1990s, applying a light touch regulatory approach in order to win the AI race. Well, yeah, then like when we kind of let the internet go completely unregulated, it was like it's quite the cesspool. CP and the like were very easily accessible. Like, I think it's important to regulate some stuff. We don't need to repeat necessarily the internet in the 1990s model. The House Energy and Commerce Committee will debate the provision in the rest of its section of the sweeping proposal on Tuesday. Other top House committees will need to approve their own language before a final bill can be brought to the floor. House Republicans are still divided on other matters, including to what extent to cut Medicaid, a federal program that covers 72 million Americans. Even if the AI provision passes the House, it still needs to pass a special parliamentary review in the Senate to ram Trump's bill through expected Democratic opposition. Republicans must use a special procedure known as reconciliation. The trade-off is that all provisions of reconciliation bills must be primarily fiscal in nature. It's unlikely, as Bloomberg News reported, that the AI provision would meet the high bar. If it fails to, Republicans would be forced to strip it out of the bill or risk losing the special power that allows them to dodge a likely Democratic-led filibuster that would effectively kill the entire bill. I don't know whether that provision will survive on reconciliation, but as a substantive matter, it's a policy I support, Cruz said. Yeah, so I think this is a dumb provision. It'd be different if you were actually making an attempt to regulate it at the federal or national level, but you're not. In fact, as I said a million times, that regulation, the little regulation we did have, was completely rescinded. So let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.